Good morning. This is the veteran from Trinity. This is the first video I've put out in about a week, or more, in fact longer. And I've been thinking for the last couple of weeks. In fact, I think I've been running scared. Because some of my family members tell me be careful what I'm saying, and I've been, you know, thinking about how people are going to react with some of my comments. Because as you know, um, your president is not one of my favorite people I like. In fact, I dislike him immensely. And I've said some things that some people might take offensive and want to actually hurt me. So my family said, "Ken, be careful what you say." And this morning, I was watching a couple of videos on YouTube, and the one I was watching was actually Sunshine Shoulders out of the he's in the United States right now, but it's normally out of the Philippines. And he made a statement that got me to thinking, what are you scared of? Here I am already 73 years old. I'm for the last quarter of my life. I don't need to be scared of anything. One of the things I was scared of as a veteran was it took me over 30 years to get to 100% VA, and I don't want to do anything that jeopardized that. And I said, why should I be afraid? One of the things we went to war for was freedom of speech and freedom to express yourself. You're going to find people that don't agree with you. But this country, you could have everybody entitled to their own opinions. And I was running scared like a lot of Americans because of this president we have who likes to retaliate. Not just him, but people that worship him. So my family was saying, now, be careful. But I say, you know what, the hell with all that. I will and continue to express myself. I think the president right now is a crook. You know? And if you don't believe me, he decided to put all these tariffs out, right? Now, what happens when he put tariff out? The stock market decreases, right? He put all his tariffs out, and all his friends and stuff will lose their money, right? When he realized that, he gave them, in my opinion, he gave them a heads up. So what happens is, when you have a heads up in stock, you know the tariff is going to cause, if you reduce the tariffs, it's going to cause the stock to go up. Economics 101. He gave them a head start of when he was going to raise actually drop the tariff. Right? Now, if they're going to drop the tariff, the stock kept on going down, but you have a heads up, and you can go out and buy that stock at a reduced price, knowing that it's going up very shortly. Example: Newsmax went from $14 a share to over $260 a share. That was millions raised. Millions. His buddy, and he's on tape bragging about Charles Schwab, made billions billions because of the tariff. Billions. His friends have gotten richer and richer, while we've gotten poorer and poorer. I lost a few $1,000s because of his imposing the tariffs. And so these are some of the things we're talking about. So I'm not scared to call him a crook. He's always been a crook. When I was living in New York, he was a crook. Long before he became president. He's from University, Trump steak. He's just a crook. But people worship him. But he's wrong for America. He's wrong for America. But like I said, that's my opinion. Other people believe otherwise, so they go out of the way and support them. But that's America. You can support whoever you want. But he's never going to get my vote. Never, never. Again, I never got it in the first place. So, I'm rambling because, what he's doing is wrong. He sent that guy he said was a member of M13 gang to El Salvador, and said they can't find him. And he's meeting today with the president of El Salvador. All he has to do is ask him to return the guy, and he'll be back here in the States. He still removed a lot of veterans. Like I said earlier, if you are a veteran, and especially I believe that if you serve in combat, you should be granted American citizenship, whether you committed a crime or not. That's my belief. You put your life on the line for America, and that's one way to repay you. I don't know what this country is coming to. How these are smart people, let a crook like Donald J. Trump become president. What were they thinking? Women especially. Man that says grab them by the pussy and get away with it. These church-going people voted for him. All because they didn't want a black president. That's it. They didn't want a black president. Racism is something else. They'd rather suffer than have a black president. So they're paying for it right now. I don't know what to say with these people. Women have to fight for abortions. You voted for a man, especially if you're in the church, is will be a Christian, a good Christian. And how could you vote for Donald Trump? I ask that question. How could you vote for such a man? I don't